Welcome, friends, to Ancient Wisdom. Have you ever found yourself trapped by fear, whether it's fear of failure, fear of change, or fear of the unknown? Fear has a way of creeping into our minds, holding us back from living the life we truly want. It can stop us from pursuing dreams, building meaningful relationships, and even finding inner peace. But what if there's a way to overcome fear not by fighting against it, but by transforming it into a source of strength and clarity? Buddhism, with its timeless teachings, offers profound guidance for navigating life's uncertainties and finding freedom from fear. These teachings aren't about denying fear or pretending it doesn't exist. Instead, they invite us to face fear with understanding, to see it for what it truly is, and to use it as a stepping stone toward growth and transformation. In this video, we'll explore 6 powerful Buddhist lessons that can help you stop letting fear control your life. These lessons will show you how to find calm in chaos, embrace the unknown with confidence, and discover the strength within yourself to navigate life's challenges. From the practice of mindfulness to the wisdom of impermanence, each lesson is designed to help you break free from fear's grip and live with purpose and courage. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of peace, no longer shackled by doubts or what-ifs. Imagine finding the clarity to move forward, even when life feels uncertain. These lessons can guide you toward that sense of freedom, helping you not just to survive life's challenges, but to thrive through them. If you've ever felt held back by fear, now is the time to take the first step toward change. Join me as we uncover these transformative Buddhist teachings. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss the meaningful content we share each week. Together, let's embark on a journey to stop fear and start living boldly. Are you ready? Let's begin. Lesson 1. Understanding the nature of fear. Have you ever paused to consider what fear truly is, where it comes from, and why it feels so powerful? As the years pass, fears can seem sharper, more pressing, concerns about health, the ache of losing loved ones, or the loneliness that sometimes settles in the quiet of the night. Yet, is fear a reflection of reality, or is it a projection of the mind, an illusion we unwittingly create and sustain? The Buddha offered a profound insight. Fear, like all emotions, is shaped by thought. It's not an enduring reality, it's a fleeting mental construct. Imagine sitting alone in a room rich with familiar memories. It should be a space of peace. Yet your thoughts might wander into a cascade of troubling what-ifs. What if my health fails? Or what if I lose my independence? These fears, though vivid, are not happening at this moment. They are scenarios the mind has conjured, layered with anxiety and uncertainty. In this way, fear reveals its true nature. It is not a solid, immovable force, it's a shadow cast by our own thoughts. And here's the transformative truth. If fear is a story our minds create, then it's a story we can edit, rewrite, or even release altogether. When you recognize that fear is not a fixed reality, it loses its grip. It becomes something you can observe, something that passes rather than lingers. You have the power to change your relationship with fear. Instead of battling it, step back and watch it. Instead of letting it dictate your actions, remind yourself, fear is just a thought, a passing cloud in my sky. This shift in perspective doesn't make fear vanish, but it allows you to see it for what it is, a fleeting moment, not the sum of your life. When you embrace the understanding that fear is not your reality, you rediscover your strength. Over the years, you've faced countless challenges and found your way through each one. This is no different. The awareness that lies behind fear, that steady, observing presence, remains untouched. And it is this awareness that grants you the freedom to live fully, with a heart unburdened and a spirit ready to savor the present. Lesson 2. Embracing the beauty of impermanence. Life in all its intricacies is an unfolding story of change. For those who have traveled a long journey, the transient nature of existence becomes strikingly clear. Loved ones drift away, health ebbs, and the world we once knew reshapes itself in endless cycles. But if we dare to look beyond the surface, impermanence reveals itself, not as a cruel inevitability, but as an inherent truth, one that, when embraced, leads to profound peace and understanding. The Buddha's teachings illuminate this truth. Nothing in life is permanent. Emotions rise and fade, possessions come and go, and even our most cherished relationships evolve or come to an end. Our pain, our longing, our fear, these often arise because we attempt to hold on to what cannot remain unchanged. The future looms uncertain, The past haunts us, and in between, we struggle to keep things exactly as they are, even when it's impossible. Consider the tapestry of your own memories. Joyful moments you wished could last forever eventually gave way to something else. Painful experiences you thought would never end softened with time. This is the nature of impermanence. It brings both loss and healing. When you come to understand that every experience, whether sweet or bitter, is temporary, you begin to break free from the grip of fear and regret. The realization that this too shall pass transforms not only how you endure challenges, but also how you celebrate fleeting joys. Recognizing impermanence does not mean detaching from the richness of life. Quite the opposite. When you accept that everything is fleeting, each moment becomes infinitely more valuable. A shared laugh at the breakfast table, a gentle breeze on a summer afternoon, or a songbird's morning serenade, all these small, seemingly ordinary occurrences gain new depth and importance. By fully inhabiting the present, you discover that it is impermanence itself that makes life precious. In times of difficulty, a health struggle, the loss of a loved one, or a sudden life change, remember that no storm lasts forever. The hurt you feel now is a moment in a greater flow, and with time, clarity and calm will return. Instead of resisting or longing for what once was, let yourself move through the experience. Each step, each breath, brings you closer to the next chapter. Impermanence also teaches us to let go of expectations and rigid ideals. By doing so, we release the burdens of worry and the fear of the unknown. We make space for new beginnings, new connections, and new joys. The phrase "this too shall pass" becomes a touchstone, a reminder that nothing stays the same, but every moment holds its own beauty and potential. Life, at its core, is a flowing stream. Trying to halt the current or cling to one particular moment only leads to frustration. But when you acknowledge that change is the nature of all things, you find freedom, not the kind that numbs or separates you from the world, but the freedom to live more fully. You learn to treasure what you have now, knowing it is unique and unrepeatable. Embracing impermanence is not about giving up, it's about leaning into the rhythm of life. When you accept this truth, you gain the strength to walk calmly through each transition, savoring the fleeting beauty that every new moment brings. Instead of fighting against the current, you move with it, discovering a deeper sense of peace, purpose, and joy. Lesson 3. Understanding the nature of suffering. Suffering is an inescapable aspect of the human condition. For those who have weathered life's peaks and valleys, the ache of loss, the shock of change, and the weight of hardship can feel like a persistent shadow. But is suffering truly our adversary? Or is it a guide, revealing some of life's most profound truths? The Buddhist teachings invite us to look closely at suffering, not to fear it, but to understand it. Suffering arises not from the events of life themselves, but from how we relate to them. It is born of attachment. We cling to health, relationships, material comforts, and even our sense of self as though they were permanent. Yet everything is impermanent. When these cherished things shift, change, or fade, suffering takes root. This doesn't mean we are doomed to despair. On the contrary, suffering is a doorway. It's an invitation to let go, to release our grip on what cannot last, and to find a deeper, more enduring peace. This perspective doesn't erase pain, but it transforms how we carry it. Consider the hardest moments you've endured. Perhaps it was the loss of a beloved friend, a health challenge that tested your resolve, or a setback that made you question your path. At the time, the pain may have seemed endless. But now, looking back, you see how those moments passed. They did not define you, but they shaped you. They taught you resilience, patience, and the value of life's simple joys. Buddhism frames suffering not as an aberration, but as part of the natural flow of existence. This recognition that suffering is universal and shared releases the sense of isolation. It also reframes suffering not as something to escape, but as something to learn from. We begin to understand that suffering is not our enemy, but a teacher that calls us to wake up, to see life's impermanence, and to live more fully in the present. Fear often magnifies suffering. We dread loss, failure, and uncertainty. Yet, when we meet suffering head-on, its grip loosens. Acceptance does not mean passivity, it means embracing what is and moving forward with grace. It means understanding that no moment of suffering is forever, and that even amidst the pain, we can find clarity and purpose. A key teaching of Buddhism is that by shifting our perspective, suffering loses its sharpest edge. If we mourn what is past, we can also celebrate what remains, the capacity to love, the lessons we've learned, and the precious present moment. If we feel diminished by illness or aging, we can focus on what we still can do rather than what we've lost. Suffering also serves as a call to liberation. It reminds us that our true peace is not tied to life's ever-changing conditions. The more we understand suffering, the less it controls us. We become free not from pain, but from the struggle against it. As we grow older and suffering, whether physical or emotional, seems to linger more often, we can choose to face it with clarity and compassion. Instead of fleeing from discomfort, we can lean into it, discovering in its depths a wisdom that sustains us. Let suffering show you how strong, patient, and grateful you truly are. And above all, remember this: suffering, like all things, is impermanent. It may arrive, but it also departs, leaving behind the quiet strength of a heart at peace. Lesson 4. Embracing the present through mindfulness. Have you ever noticed how the mind can become trapped in a maze of worries about the future or regrets about the past? As we travel further along life's journey, the mental replay of these unsettling stories can feel relentless. Yet, there exists a timeless practice that offers a way out, a gentle path back to peace: mindfulness. In Buddhism, mindfulness, known as sati, is neither complex nor inaccessible. It's the simple act of being present, of fully living each moment as it unfolds. Through mindfulness, we create a space of calm within ourselves, a place where we can quietly observe our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without being swept away by them. Think of fear and anxiety. They rarely belong to the present. Instead, they draw their strength from the past memories of painful events or the future imagined scenarios that may never come to pass. But when we anchor ourselves in the now, these fears lose their footing. As we turn our attention to the rhythm of our breath or the softness of sunlight on our skin, the mind's stories dissolve. What's left is reality, peaceful and unburdened. Mindfulness doesn't demand a drastic overhaul of your life, it simply invites a shift in perspective. Here are a few ways to begin. Connect with your breath. Your breath is always with you, from the moment you took your first breath until now. Pause for a few moments each day to follow its flow. Feel the air as it enters and leaves your body. If your mind starts to wander, gently guide it back to this simple, grounding sensation. Feel your body's presence. While sitting or lying down, take time to truly feel your body. Notice the weight of your limbs, the steady beat of your heart, or the texture of the ground beneath your feet. Observe these sensations without judgment, simply acknowledging the vitality of your physical self. Bring awareness to everyday tasks. Mindfulness isn't confined to formal meditation. It can infuse even the most mundane activities with richness. When sipping tea, savor its warmth and taste. When walking, notice the rhythm of your steps and the sounds around you. When folding clothes, pay attention to their texture. In these small acts, mindfulness transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. Living mindfully means recognizing that fear is just another passing thought, not a fixed reality. Like standing on the edge of a flowing stream, you can watch your worries drift by without reaching in to grasp them. Mindfulness allows you to let fear come and go, observing it gently and choosing not to be carried away. Through mindfulness, not only does anxiety diminish, but a deeper appreciation of the present moment arises. Each moment, no matter how simple, holds beauty and significance. In the later years of life, when reflection becomes second nature, mindfulness is more than a practice, it is a gift. It grants us the clarity to see what truly matters and the peace to embrace it. Begin each day by dedicating a few minutes to mindfulness. As you do, you'll find that the weight of the past and the uncertainties of the future fade. What remains is the profound peace you've always sought, now residing within you, waiting to be fully experienced. Lesson 5. Finding freedom through letting go. As we reflect on life's long journey, it becomes clear how deeply we've held onto certain things: material possessions, relationships, personal ideals, or emotional states. While these attachments can shape our memories and experiences, they are often the roots of our suffering. We dread losing what we hold dear. We mourn when circumstances change, and we feel helpless when confronted with the uncontrollable. The Buddha referred to this clinging, or tena, as the yearning for permanence in a world where everything is fleeting. The more tightly we grasp, the more we find ourselves entangled in cycles of anxiety and restlessness. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning all that you love or cherish. It's not about rejection or withdrawal, rather, it's about freeing yourself from the weight of needing things to remain unchanged. When we stop clinging, we find that we can truly enjoy what life offers without the constant fear of loss or disappointment. Much of our attachment stems from the belief that our happiness is tied to external sources, possessions, status, relationships, or even our personal identity. These things may bring moments of joy, but their impermanent nature means that when they fade, so often does our contentment. Reflect for a moment. Have you ever felt deeply unsettled when a cherished item was misplaced, heartbroken after parting ways with someone close, or distressed as your body's abilities began to diminish? While these emotions are genuine, they arise largely from our resistance to the natural flow of change. Learning to let go begins with the understanding that nothing in life is static. Possessions tarnish, relationships evolve, emotions shift, and even our sense of self transforms with time. When we accept this truth, we no longer need to fight against the tide of impermanence. Instead, we can appreciate each moment for what it is: brief, beautiful, and unique, without the burden of grasping at what cannot be held. Letting go also means easing the expectations we place on ourselves and others. You may have always prided yourself on being independent, reluctant to ask for help even when needed. This attachment to self-reliance can lead to unnecessary strain and isolation. Releasing this belief allows you to find strength in community, to deepen relationships, and to understand that leaning on others is not a weakness but a part of our shared humanity. Loving without attachment is one of the greatest expressions of freedom. It doesn't mean feeling less, but feeling more openly and generously. Imagine admiring a radiant flower in the garden. Instead of picking it to claim its beauty as your own, you simply enjoy it where it blooms, leaving it undisturbed. In doing so, you honor its existence without attempting to possess it. At this stage in life, we've witnessed countless changes, some joyous, some painful. Letting go is not about denying these experiences. It's about accepting them, seeing them as natural, and understanding that peace comes not from clutching tightly but from being present, thankful, and open. By embracing this lesson, you'll come to see that true tranquility lies not in what you hold on to, but in what you allow yourself to release. Through the practice of letting go, you uncover a profound freedom, a freedom that allows you to live with clarity and calm, savoring each moment without fear, and carrying with you a deep sense of peace and contentment in every remaining chapter of life. Lesson 6. The transformative power of patience. In the later chapters of life, time may seem to slow, but the mind often becomes busier with worry. Thoughts of health challenges, uncertain futures, and the sorrow of loss can erode patience. Yet patience is not just a virtue, it is a profound practice that cultivates inner peace and resilience. The Buddha taught that kshanti, or patience, is a cornerstone of a stable and calm mind, one that faces life's struggles without succumbing to fear or anger. Patience does not mean passive endurance or surrendering to difficulties. It is the strength to maintain an open, calm heart even amid uncertainty, pain, or hardship. It is the steadying force that reminds us that growth and resolution take time. Not every answer arrives on demand. Not every difficulty can be resolved immediately. In this way, patience becomes a guide helping us accept life's natural rhythm without being consumed by frustration. Consider a moment when your health felt fragile or when a relationship changed unexpectedly. The temptation might have been to seek immediate solutions, to demand clarity and relief. But what if instead of chasing after certainty, you paused and allowed the present moment to unfold? In this pause, you find that the mind calms and fear loses its grip. Fear, after all, thrives on impatience and the need for control. Patience offers a path out, showing you that even the deepest anxieties eventually pass, just as storm clouds clear. Throughout your life, how many challenges seemed insurmountable at first, but resolved with time? How often did you endure a waiting period only to find that the outcome was worth it? These reflections reveal the quiet power of patience. They show that time itself is not an enemy, but an ally that helps everything find its place. Patience teaches that life moves at its own pace, not according to our demands. Patience also invites compassion. It helps you accept imperfection, your own, others, and life's as a whole. Perhaps you've blamed yourself for mistakes or felt disappointment when others failed to meet your expectations. Patience shifts this perspective. It reminds you that everyone, including yourself, is a work in progress. Instead of reacting with frustration, you can approach such situations with understanding and kindness. Even waiting becomes meaningful under the lens of patience. Instead of seeing it as wasted time, patience frames waiting as an opportunity, a chance to breathe, reflect, and stay present. When you await a medical diagnosis, a decision, or even a shift in your emotions, patience helps you view this time as part of your journey, not a detour. Each moment of waiting becomes valuable and integral part of life's unfolding story. As patience grows within you, its benefits radiate outward. Your calm presence reassures family and friends. It sets a tone of steadiness for those who look to you for guidance. But above all, patience is a gift you give yourself. It frees you from unnecessary tension and fear, allowing you to embrace life's challenges with grace. Remember that patience is not a fixed trait, but a skill developed over time. Every time you pause instead of rushing, accept instead of resisting, you strengthen your patience. As it becomes second nature, you'll find that life's hurdles become less daunting. You'll see that even in your later years, patience can transform how you experience each moment. Rather than feeling time slipping away, patience lets you fully savor what remains, making every day a source of peace and fulfillment. Conclusion: a peaceful life begins within you. Life, with all its ups and downs, joys and sorrows, is an ever-changing journey. Fear, suffering, attachment, and uncertainty are natural challenges that each of us must face. Yet, the miraculous truth is that within every person lies the strength to overcome these trials. The teachings of Buddhism, from recognizing the nature of fear and embracing impermanence to practicing mindfulness, letting go of attachment, and cultivating patience, are not abstract philosophies. They are practical guides to living a serene and meaningful life. In the later years of life, when we have more time to reflect and ponder, applying these lessons can bring about the peace we have always sought. Accepting change, loving without clinging, living in the present, and nurturing patience are ways to not only face aging, but to cherish it as a precious gift. Remember, nothing in life is permanent, not even pain or uncertainty. You deserve to live with inner freedom and find joy in the simplest things. Thank you for taking the time to listen and reflect with us on this journey. If you found these lessons meaningful, please share your thoughts in the comments below. We would love to hear your stories, reflections, experiences, or even questions you are seeking answers to. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can continue this journey together, exploring profound and valuable life philosophies. We're here not just to share, but to walk alongside you in the quest for peace and happiness. Once again, thank you, and we wish you a life of wholeness and tranquility.